What's up, Mancave Nation? I'm Atiba.
I'm Calvin.
And this is episode 1 of We Don't Know What the Fuck This Is Yet, a podcast on dialogue on sports and other topics. Oh, we start recording already?
Do you think, bro?
All right. So, we're going to start today with Kawhi Leonard. Traded to the Toronto Raptors for DeRozan and
DeMar
Green. Kawhi Leonard and Green going for DeRozan.
And a draft pick.
Hey, who
protected?
who was the biggest winner out of all this? Do you think the bigger winner of the two teams?
I think San Antonio was the biggest winner out of that.
You think so?
Yeah, they always talking. They talking about the general manager about to lose his job based on that trade. I mean, you pick somebody who's the face of the franchise and a beloved player, you know, for sentimental reasons and everything else, and you trade him for somebody who doesn't even want to be there. I mean, it's like they lost. I mean, they have a history of losing all of their players, like going all the way back to, you know, Marcus Camby and what's his name?
Vince Carter.
Yeah, Vince Carter, Damon Stoudemire.
But.
And now it's just like, you know, you trade him for a rental on a player who's probably not even going to be there, who's already said he doesn't want to be there.
But if you look at the Raptors' record, could you give the general managers some kind of leeway because of that? Because you get beat by the same player 4 times in a row. You got swept.
But that's not part of the narrative anymore since he's gone.
I mean, he's gone, but then look at who's replacing him. A Boston team that took him to 7 games while you got swept. So obviously, they didn't have the talent to compete with Boston.
Well, you already know that he didn't have any confidence in what he had when you fired a coach of the year. And, you know, you're getting rid of your best player. I mean, you can already tell that he had no confidence in what they already had. But he feels confident in moving forward with this gamble for whatever reason. I mean, maybe he feels he can convince him to stay, or he really doesn't care.
I don't think he actually cares. I think that Kawhi Leonard could be used as a bait to trade bait for somewhere to go somewhere else, and you could get something out of that deal to build a better team.
I don't think he's that good of a trade right now because everybody already knows, you know, what his mindset is or perception of where his mindset is, and just the fact that, you know, he's not going to get nowhere near the value that he had to begin with. It's like you get a high-end car, you trade it in for a mid-level car, and now you got a hoopty, and that's what he's pretty much going to end up with.
Like I say this, for me the biggest winners is San Antonio. Because they do get a proven perimeter scorer.
For 3 years.
Right. He's about what, 28, 29 years old. And I don't think the Toronto Raptors are the biggest loser. I think the biggest loser is Kawhi Leonard because people see that he's damaged goods. He's only going to play when he want to play and play where he want to play.
Well, he's going to have a chance to prove that. I don't really cry for millionaires. I mean, it's just...
Yeah.
He's chosen this path. I mean, this is what I mean. If he was just thrown into this situation, like they just out of nowhere just decided to trade him, then yeah, I would feel sorry for him. But when he forced this, I can't possibly feel sorry for him. This is what he had to know.
So let's just say that the Kawhi Leonard, he gets 1 year to prove. Like
he has nothing to prove.
No, 1 year to prove that he's not damaged goods. And Toronto, because he's on that mission, does get over the hump. Would that make it a better deal if he could get them to the champion or even a championship? Super hypothetical.
Let's just be real about it. He's in a contract year.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is, the only thing he has to prove that he can move up and down the court without limping. At this point, do you really think he's going to go all in and guarding everybody's top player and trying to put up 30 a night? I mean, I can see him doing it in spurts or on occasion just to make the highlights, but I really can't see him going all in for Toronto right now. I wouldn't. I mean, they're a mediocre team. I mean, they'll be a better than the average team with him, but they're a mediocre team.
Mediocre.
Valanciunas, who else? They got Ibaka.
I mean, you the top seeded team in the East. I would have called that mediocre.
They was top seed by record through the regular season, right. But they are nowhere near top seed talent wise.
I mean, even still, they'll be top three. Top three teams. I say it's not mediocre. I'm saying you
top three in the JV league. I mean,
maybe with the person you traded,
top three in the East, but top 11th in the in the league altogether. I mean,
I'm just saying what it is. Like you got somebody who couldn't lead you past one person, and you traded for someone who got something to prove that's playing for his money for next year. I mean, I say Kawhi messed up himself, and Toronto did get Green also, who was another shooter on their squad, who basically used the Spurs as a farm system to help develop a player that they got.
Yeah.
And Toronto did lose, but I don't think they're as big as a loser as people think they are.
We'll see what happens if they end up being the number 6 seed in the East, because Kawhi is only partially dialed in. And I forgot what I was talking about. I ain't gonna lie.
Kawhi partially dialed in.
He's only gonna be partially dialed in because he's just trying to make a name for himself to make his money and get on. I mean, everybody already know what he is. His resume is already done. Everybody knows what he's capable of in the playoffs, what he's capable of on the ball, what he's capable of as a leader of your team or the best player of your team. He's not really much of a leader, but as the best player on the team, I mean, they already know what he's capable of. Only thing he has to do is show he's healthy, show he has a pulse, he has 2 functioning legs, and, you know, he can play more than 60 games a year. That's all he really has to show.
Maybe. It's possible. I mean, year by year you change. You see like with Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony 3 years ago was on the top 5, 6, 7 ISO players. Now people don't even want to. Atlanta Hawks just bought him out.
All I'm saying is I don't see him trying to make a Herculean LeBron effort trying to carry Toronto through the playoffs and to the playoffs. I don't see him being that dialed in. I see him showing that he's healthy, he's functional, and that he can still be a top paid player in the league. That's all he's trying to show. I really don't think Toronto's going to get what they want out of him.
They may not get. I disagree with it because I feel like he's playing for his money, but I see him putting forth an effort to show that he can be that two-way player that we remember him. And it kind of put him in the same boat as DeMarcus Cousins.
I see him doing it on TV matchups. I can't see him doing that for 82 games. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I did want to talk about DeMarcus Cousins because we see that he joined the super team, and it's something that just bothers me because it just seems to be a trend that was started with KD. Now I know that he wasn't given as much as an option as KD because people didn't actually want to take a chance on him. But just joining a team that went to 4 straight championships, it just seems like these guys are more in a directly pickup game kind of basketball instead of being the competition that we grew up watching and loving.
Well, this is how I look at it. He was like, I'm not going to get the money that I want anyway. So you know what? I'd rather not go home smelling like burgers every day. I'm going to go get an easy job where I could sit still at a desk. I could talk on the phone. He just wanted the easy job. He's going to make the league minimum anyway. He went on a team where he's going to be required to do the least. He actually could take his full time to heal. He's not, one of the key players of the franchise. Mm-hmm. He could really just chill, relax, heal, get the same league minimum he was going to get before because nobody was really trying to put out their money for him.
But, okay.
Now he could prove himself and actually get the money he's supposed to get next year.
So, DeMarcus Cousins...
And in the meantime, get a ring.
Maybe, he's giving an excuse, but what's your excuse for KD? He started a trend that just now seems, now we saying it's ridiculous now with Cousins, but people, and you was one of them that stuck up for KD. But now we see someone like, now we got literally the best center in the game joining the team that won the 3 straight championships. Now people gave KD a pass when it was just two-time championship and a 73-win game team, and KD joined with no injury. But now we literally got from the second best player to the best center. Like, who's next? Who's next to join the Golden State Warriors? Because if you get the best power forward, Draymond's going to the bench or off the team. So, like, what is this? This shit is becoming real ridiculous. So, like,
I mean, you just have to realize that not everybody has that competitive spirit as though, I'm gonna put, this is my team, win, lose, or draw. I'm gonna take me and 4 people, to the championship. Some people just, you're like, you know what? I want to just do my job, or you know what? I want to make the highlights every once in a while and be able to have the easiest job possible. And that's what it is. I mean, he went to a team where he's only going to have to put up 30 every third game. He doesn't have to try to do it every game just to have a chance to win. And he's like, I can make the same amount of money, I could get rings, and I could do the minimum and look good doing it. It's a business decision. Let's just be real about it. I mean, not everything is about, my 5 against your 5 on the court. I'm gonna show, my masculinity and competitive nature and all that. Not everybody wants to do that. He did the least. He did the least.
So tell me this: why does KD get such a pass joining a way more stacked team than LeBron did?
Because to be honest with you, they don't put them on the same. I mean, they put him closer now that he's has more accolades. But before, there was like everybody know that that's your Achilles heel. You can look good as you want to, but if you ever see him, and y'all have an evenly matched team, he's going to dog you. They did not put them on the same level. Like, they may put him, as LeBron gets older and, and all that kind of stuff. And, KD has showed that much of an offensive weapon. But seriously, if he had to defend the best player and do the same amount of scoring and rebound and all that, he could not hold the same ground that LeBron could hold.
So can we say that, everybody gets into LeBron started a super team, there was always super team, this, that, and other with the super teams. Can we put this Golden State Warrior franchise on us as fans? Because we consistently, when we have our barbershop debates, whenever you compare 2 players, if I want to just shut you up with no basis to it, I can just say, well, how many rings you got compared to my guy?
Absolutely.
So, like,
because we fought people like Charles Barkley and Patrick Ewing because they don't have a ring.
Right.
But, they're better than half the centers that the Lakers had, besides Shaq and, or, the ones that was on the Bulls. Yeah.
Or any of the Bulls center / power forwards can't touch none of them. And even, like, I even say it like this: Draymond Green is the most overrated player in the NBA because he's talking down to people like Paul Pierce. He's hates comparisons to Charles Barkley, and I'm like, dude, you're a 5th option at best on a stacked squad, while Charles Barkley won the MVP when Jordan was at the best he ever was in the 3-peat. So it's like,
but it's like that. Like, even when you watch the TNT NBA basketball show, it's like, anytime that Charles Barkley may have something relevant to say, it's like Shaq and Kenny Smith will just come out of nowhere and just slap him down like, you ain't got no rings, man. You ain't really got no credibility. But really, Kenny Smith is not on Charles Barkley's level. But since he has a ring,
he got 2 rings.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Since he has, all it takes is one. Since he has a ring, right, he has more credibility. Knows more about winning than Charles Barkley. I'm like, we do that to these pet players. That's why a lot of them now want to control the narrative about what's said about them.
Right.
And it's so much easier to hop on a team, get a ring, take the league minimum, and everything else, and you can do whatever you want for the other 90% of your career.
So, I mean, why do we? So when a player like KD's caliber join a team like the Golden State Warriors were, why don't we hold him accountable for it? Because it seems like when I bring up the fact that he did it, it's always like, instead of actually holding him accountable, like, oh, LeBron did it too, like it's on the same level. Like, no, this is what LeBron did on steroids. Like, and steroids for 3 years. So it's like, just interesting fact. People put Jordan at this untouchable level because he went to 6 championships and never went to a game 7.
To be honest with you, Jordan would have did the same thing. He just had a better general manager.
But no, I'm just saying, like, where would you put KD?
You think Jordan would have stayed in Chicago all those years if they was a number 8 seed in the East?
Who would have known? I'm just saying, like, we don't know that because certain players get.
We know that because he was all the things that you was hearing the narratives about, you know, trade demands and all that. Jordan was the same player, but it was like they started building better team around him.
And they started winning too. So.
Yeah, and they started winning. They got a better coach. They got better players. Jordan was going to be the same. He probably would have went to the Lakers or the Celtics or something if they didn't, or even Detroit, had they not have, you know, had Jerry Krause not did his job.
So it's just we just let winning just take over. So you're saying we let winning take over what the narrative is, because basically what you're saying is like
public perception is narrative. I mean, just bottom line, that's what it comes down to. Everybody that makes it to that level is good. It just, the only thing we really have to look forward to is wins, losses, and statistics.
Well, it matters wherever you play, but that's a whole nother that's a whole nother thing we're gonna talk about. So now with Golden State being more unstoppable, we're looking at for someone to stop them.
I don't think they're unstoppable. I mean, it's just that these other teams with the salary cap issues and the way that, you know, farm systems is working and you know, talent and, you know, what's available in the rest of the league. I mean, they could put together a team, but let's just be honest. It's like it all depends what everybody else is going to do. The players, like, they're trying to make money.
So if you don't think they're unstoppable with the roster, who could stop them? Outside injury.
It's a probability. Any given Sunday, they can be stopped. I mean, let's just be real. They don't have an undefeated record.
No, they don't. But we're talking about in the regular season, and again, that's because of us as fans not appreciating someone going 82 games every year. You know, now they bring up those facts. But I grew up in the 90s. Nobody cared about you playing every single game. I grew up in the 2000s. Nobody cared about you. They care about what happens in June, right? So, honestly and truthfully, fans don't care about what happens during the regular season. They care about the end product. So in a 7-game series, who do you see beating them? Because I don't see anybody really beating them. Like, especially with Cousins added, maybe the Rockets last year had a chance, but I don't see anybody beating them.
I just say it's a possibility. You know, it's on one basketball, has to go in the hole. Anybody could go on a hot streak. Anybody can make trades. Anybody can find out, you know, their personnel is better. You know, it's not like they have 5 Hall of Famers. Yes, they were all-stars, but that's, you know.
Okay, so
you take them off of that team, put them on another team. They're not carrying another team. They just so happen that they
three of them will carry a team. 2 of them did carry the team to a championship with other all-stars. So now, speaking of the unstoppable team, to the people that might get them over the hump, the Rockets are a team that could get over the hump. Now, it's 2 things going on with that front. We have Clinton Capella, who's not signed, and which is like the core of their defense and rebounding. They didn't sign a lot of the glue guys and let Trevor Ariza go, which is a starter and a defensive guy. But then a lot of talks about Melo going there also. So let's put you in the GM right now.
Okay.
Right? If you had a chance to, you know, you can't change what the other GM did in signing Chris Paul to a whole bunch of money where Clinton Capella wants money and you can't give it to him. Okay. If you had to choose between Capella and Melo, who would you choose? Capella
all day. He actually fits on the team. He's younger. He's, you know, more hungry. He has more purpose on the team, and he could give you a lot more. You're hoping that Carmelo is going to be able to score like he used score. And unfortunately for him, I mean, he doesn't do anything else. So it's like if he's having a bad shooting night, he's a liability on the court.
Right.
Whether you pay him a lot or a little, I mean, he's really not adding that much to your team. Sign him, don't sign him. Yeah, he's playing with his friends. I mean, we would all like to, work with our friends if possible. But when it comes down to it, I don't think he's adding that much. Yes, they wouldn't have went on those scoring droughts in the playoffs, but they may not have even made it to the playoffs with him being one of their main players if he was there for that whole season.
So who do you like? I would definitely sign Capella because he does a lot of rebounding, which they lack, and anchor the defense. Especially without Trevor Ariza there, Melo wouldn't help with the defensive side. But where do you see Melo going? Because Atlanta's planning to buy him out. Where do you see him going? Because even though the Rockets system fits with him, offensive wise, it doesn't help him closer to a championship defensive wise.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even think he cares. He's already made his money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, ideally, yes, he would like to play with his friends, like I said, but ultimately, I don't think he cares. He already got paid for the year. If he goes sits on, he can go sit and watch and commentate all year, and he's already made his money because of the way he worked the contract. Yeah.
So, all right,
and that is another factor why I would not want him on my team because he's gonna get paid regardless.
Right, he gonna get paid $26 million this year, regardless of what he do. Because all the extra money would be on that. But so we said Capella, you would sign. He's a restricted free agent.
There are no other offers. That's why that's another reason why they're still waiting.
Right. Melo, you don't know. Now, let me ask you before I get to my last team. There's two teams I want to. Now that you talked about Kawhi, and we don't know where to go. But now that the Spurs is definite on there, where do you put him in them in the West? With the addition of DeRozan.
The Spurs or Houston?
No, the Spurs. Now Houston is still, like, Capella's still up in the air, so we don't know what will happen. But The Spurs, where would you put the Spurs in the West?
If they have a full, healthy roster, I always put the Spurs second.
Second?
Yeah.
That's high.
I mean, to be honest with you, they've either been second or third for like almost the last 20 years, no matter who's been on the roster. Just because of their system and, and the key players that do have, I mean, I don't particularly like LaMarcus Aldridge, but to be honest with you, I mean, he's still going to give you 20 and 10 on a regular basis. He in my eyes, he's soft.
But that's why
it's a softer league. You don't really need him to be a tough guy or anything.
But they also got other big men.
They got shooters. They keep shooters. They keep defenders. And they're gonna give you 50 wins on a bad year.
Now you definitely before I was putting them on the outskirts because I didn't know what was gonna happen with Kawhi if they was gonna be able to with it. But now that they got a guy on that level,
like DeRozan,
I'll say I put him at the very lowest 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my second question to you would be about the addition of Beasley to the new LeBron Lakers. You would have called him that. So now you got a second defender in Beasley and a somewhat scorer down low. To be honest
with, besides LeBron, they're a team in transition. I mean, you know what LeBron's going to give you. He's going to give you the same no matter what team. It could be any team in the league. He's going to at least get to the playoffs. They have a young squad that they want to be the starters. They have a nice bench now. I mean, they're going to get all these key players that will play good roles on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to really see how the young guys are. I mean, a lot of them within their first 3 years. We're going to see how they fit with LeBron, how they fit in the league, and all that other kind of stuff because it's going to be a brighter light shine on them. It's going to be the magnifying glass is going to be put on them more.
So hypothetically,
I think Lonzo's going to end up losing his spot to Josh Hart, who's been playing good in the summer league.
Oh, okay.
You
think he would play that well? Because summer league don't have many starters on there.
They're gonna find ways. I mean, they're gonna try to find ways. It's what players need to do around LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
He does better. He's a much better shooter.
Mm-hmm.
He's a defender. I mean, he's not as big as Lonzo, but Lonzo, without the ball in his hand all the time, which I don't think he's going to be able to have the ball in his hand all the time because he's not that much of a scorer. People's going to guard him differently, unless he somehow finds a jumper. And Mike Beasley I think is a good acquisition. I think JaVale McGee, I think he's gonna have a pretty good role. But like I said, everybody I'm naming, along with Lance Stevenson, is going to be bench players. We still got to see with their young players, Kuzman. We still got to see with Ball. We still got to see what all of them going to do as starters.
So, where do you put the Lakers? So, I know you said San Antonio is number 2. I'm guessing behind Golden State. So, where do you see like the Lakers?
To be honest with you, I see them as being the 3 through 5 seed, just because LeBron knows he doesn't need to make the number 1 seed. He doesn't care about home court advantage.
Right, I got you. Well,
he's going to take his days off. You know what I'm saying? He's going, he doesn't care about seeding as much.
All right. So
that stuff only matters to teams like Houston.
But like, okay, so Houston. Now I know what your decision would be, but where do you think they will go with Melo or go after Capella?
With Capella, I see them being a number 3 seed. Without Capella, I think they'll be at a lower seed, like 7-8.
So where do you honestly see Melo going if he was to go anywhere?
Most likely
see him going to the Lakers to just be an extra shooter.
Nah, I think he'd be more of a distraction than anything on the Lakers. They really don't need him.
Right, I got you.
At his position, they got the best player in the league because he can't really play any other position.
Yeah, maybe a stretch 4.
Yeah, okay.
All right. I just said maybe when you playing small ball, they can't drive by him now. Like he'll be
a stretch 4 that gets no rebounds, plays no D, and his shot is not always falling.
Okay, so we're gonna leave the NBA